How do I look at sales funnels? Well, most marketers know about the AIDA framework for sales funnels: attention, interest, desire, action. And my thing, the way I look at them is, I actually look at sales funnels by the relative conversion rate, not the absolute conversion rate, because I want to see what's the limiting constraint on the funnel, meaning which part of the funnel is letting the fewest people through, right? Because if something's converting at a very high rate, like say 80%, there's not much I can do there to, even if I made it 85, right? It's not going to make such a big difference. You're not going to get 100% conversion rates, right? So I tend to look at where's the smallest conversion rate and try to get creative about things I can do to increase that one. So say, the top of my funnel is getting 70%, then say 10%, then 30%, then 10%, right? I got to worry about the 10% part of the funnel, not the 70% part of the funnel, because you don't have much to gain there, right? They call it what's the term? Diminishing returns, right? Pushing on the 70%, even though it's the top of the funnel, doesn't really get you much. But if I can get that 10% to 20%, now I've effectively doubled the amount of people coming through the funnel. And what I've noticed just over the years is that the top of the funnel is generally easy. That's what the internet's made to do, is to get attention. So if you put money behind ads, you can get your ads in front of people, right? You can get their attention. You can make sure people see it. If you do cold emails, you can make sure people see it. If you put it on your homepage, you can make sure people see it. So the attention part's not the hard part typically. What is difficult is making whatever you sell interesting. And I think that's really the mark of good advertising, is to take something that may not be interesting and put a twist on it, add a hook to it that does get interest. And when you're able to select which audience you put your content in front of, when you're able to select on whose attention you're trying to get, what I noticed is that the desire and the action's kind of built in if they're the right audience, but you're going to see way different outcomes with an interesting ad or piece of content versus a non-interesting, non-attention getting piece of content. And so this is why so many people, like, for example, when you're watching sports, professional sports, basketball, football, you'll notice a lot of boring industries like insurance want to pop up their ads because they themselves are not very interesting, but they know everyone's very interested in this game, right? Championships game, finals game, playoffs game, whatever. They know they have a very interested audience, a very captive audience, who may not be so concerned about their product, but they are very excited about this sport. So let me get in front of this excited audience while I can and do my best, right? Do the best that I can. But I think the art of making your content, your topic interesting can turn, I've seen it. It can literally 10x your results, right? It can turn a failing campaign into a winner overnight. And even though I'm very focused on the analytical side, just because I like to run tests and validate results, I can see how the creatives really are, assuming you're able to track everything and get your metrics from your campaigns and experiments. The creators really are the big difference makers. Once you've singled in on what you need to fix and you apply them to the right place and you give them the right problem, they really can turn a campaign around and drive sales if they're able to make their product or their service interesting.